have had a question that no one has ever been able to explain to me. I do know now that my father was an alcoholic, but I also know now he was also a narcissist. I struggled with homesickness. Out of 4 children, I was the only one that was really disabled by homesickness, spending the night with friends, going to slumber parties, would not go to camp, had school phobia, and no matter who I've discussed this with, nobody seems to know what homesickness is.
Alice, do you still feel homesick?
Occasionally in the evenings. Homesickness always came when the sun went down. As the sun is going down, I felt this overwhelming sense of loneliness.
Well, Alice, I really relate to it. As children, we really feel the absence. Like we go to another child's house, like a friend's house, and we see some stability, connection, and love and more consistency. Being homesick really kind of makes sense because it's almost just like, I think as children, as say a little girl, you're kind of like, you got this alcoholic dad and maybe there's chaos or there's problems kind of around that. And as kids, we're like, so when do we get to be a family? When is that going to happen? I don't want to miss it.
Something might happen and I'm not there.
Correct. I would also be wondering if there was other siblings that might have been in danger or a sad mom.
A sad mom. I was so in tune with my mother's wounding. And I needed to take care of mother in some way, be there for her.
I super relate to that, where as kids, we cannot be present if it's upside down, where the child is more worried about the parent than the parent is worried about the child. So I think it makes 1,000% sense to me as a little girl if you felt homesick.
You said even now around sunset, as the day comes to a close, that is actually a very chaotic time in families, right? People are coming home from work.
Daddy came home.
Dad came home. That's what it is. I'll tell you, myself included, many will say the jingle of the keys in the door was a trigger. It's a trigger I feel to this day when I hear a jingle of keys, especially at that end of the daytime. I get anxious. That's not unusual. So that sunset meant that chaos was starting to set in, and the protective child Alice was being called. And that homesickness may also be that sense of, I have to be home right now, because if I'm not, this entire thing is going to fall apart.
I came across this picture of me, and I've kept her with me, and I hug her and rock her and talk to her. She was born bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And
look at her.
As an adult, is to become once again bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
When you get triggered around sunset and you feel either worried or alone, that is the time to really connect with your inner child and remind her that no one bad is coming home. When the perpetrator comes home, that's when kids become really hypervigilant. That was true for me. And it'd be good for your inner child to start to feel some safety.
Wow.
For me, for a long time, it was summers. Because summers growing up in an alcoholic family meant to be really hot and really bored and really disconnected. So I really struggled with summers for a very long time. Couldn't figure it out until I put those things together.
And different routines at sunset too, to sort of help break some of that patterning and that cycling, but recognize that there's a primal call at that time of day to try to keep everyone safe. And maybe your siblings ran away and you're the one who stayed in the fray.
It is so good. Wow. I was the one worrying about Mama.
Keep that picture though. You'll get there. You'll absolutely get there.
Join the Dr. Ramani Network today.